Cliffe, welcome to another episode of Music, Minimalism and Mental Health. I hope you're doing well today. And I guess one of the questions that people could ask is, where will it end? Where will this minimizing journey in terms of music and all the gear associated with it, where will it end and why am I doing it, I guess? Now, there are a number of reasons for why I'm doing it. One is a kind of clarity of mind thing. The nature of my mind is that if I've got too much clutter around, I get distracted by the clutter and don't get on with the music. But there's also, there's a lot of other things in play. So I'm, striving to be kind of more intentional in the way I live my life generally. Also, we are aware that we are not going to be in Bucharest long term. We may be in the medium term, but at some point in the next 2 to 3 years, we will be moving on. And we really, really want to make the next move easier than the last one, which was just crazy with the amount of stuff that we ended up left with and we brought. Some of which, because it would have been easier to sell here, or at least in Europe in theory, although we didn't know then what we know now about the Bucharest postal system. But some of it was, I think, the thoughts that, you never know, we may be able to use this, because so much of the time when we're downsizing, when we're minimizing, when we're seeking to be more intentional and reach a level of enough, what we do is we kind of have this thought in our head of, I might not be able to use it now, but I will be able to use it in 6 months or in my new place or wherever the next place is. And I think then we get a kind of, many of us get a growing sense of realization that actually that's not the case. So all we end up doing is storing stuff that we thought we might use again, or we thought we might use for the first time. I know I've bought stuff in Hong Kong, some of it admittedly before COVID hit, so I had big plans for how I was going to use it, and then the country shut down. And that was a big kind of downer in that kind of way, that I had bought things with the intention of doing significant things with them, and then that fell by the wayside. But other things I bought because I thought they would be cool in the next place, and they weren't, or they've not been used. Some of them haven't been out of their bags. So yeah, it's a tough one, and yeah, I'm sure that if you think hard, you can think of things that you bought with all the best intentions in the world, and then haven't quite lived up to those in whatever way. And this isn't a place of judgment, but I'd love to know your stories about your stuff down below in the comments. I really appreciate that. But I think as well, I talked the last week about uncertainty, and there is plenty of uncertainty going on in our life at the moment. A number of options that presented themselves for kind of things we're looking at now and things that we're going to be looking at in the future. And it's like, there's so much more still to move on. So I'm kind of going to quickly run through some things that I'm hoping to sell or move on in 2023, or perhaps some of them into 2024 for logistical reasons. One of those is, unsurprisingly, pedals. I did a big pedal purge last year. I have probably about another 19, 20, 21, somewhere around there, pedals to move on. I think I sold 20, 25 last year, but there's still, a significant chunk of those that are duplicates or just stuff I wasn't using and I'm not using and I'm unlikely to want to use. Even depending what happens in life, whether I move to a different kind of rig, which is a thought, in which case there'll be more pedals to go. Without even doing any of that, there are, let's say, I think there's 10 pedals back in the UK and at least another 10 here that it's really time to move on. I want to sell, let's talk keyboards. I still have 2 King Korgs, and okay, I'm using them for lessons just at the moment, only for a brief period because it's easier to have the 2 set up. But I am more than happy for those to move on. Certainly one of them, ideally 2, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm moving on a King Korg because I don't have the space or the kind of need for 2. I bought 2 again with great intentions. You saw my whole band setup video maybe in the start of 2020 when I had the 4 keyboards, and it was cool, but just never actually got any further with them. At some point, I'm kind of looking around at it. I would like to move on my Chrome EX, my Chrome EX73, purely because what I'm aiming to do is to move towards a 61 key kind of super workstation, probably the Nautilus, which will cover all the ground that the King Korgs and the Chrome do, and then some. And it will be a smaller thing, it'll fit on my desk, and it'll be a much easier way of working. And as part of this whole minimizing, if I can get down to 1 board instead of 3, that is something that is very positive. I was unsure, last year when I posted my Martin's Guitar Collection 2022, I had a couple of acoustic guitars that I said I didn't play very much, and realistically, they don't get played at all. So the classical guitar, I will hopefully seek to move on at some point this year. I don't know how easy that will be, but we can try. And also the 12-string Ovation. I just don't enjoy playing that guitar at all. I hate that every time I retune it, I break the high G string. Common problems, I think, with anyone who's experienced 12-string guitars. There's a reason lots of people tune them down a tone to D, because it takes a lot of strain off that high G. I tried putting an 8.5 on for that string, and even that, it snapped. The second one I managed to get to pitch, but obviously there's the 2 basses that are still in the UK. There's the Fender Jazz bass and the Fender Precision bass. I wasn't able to sell them in time last summer, so they will be listed again when I get back in what will be a few weeks' time. As you're watching this, I think this is coming out towards the end of February, and then I'm there at the start of April. So 5-6 weeks. Hopefully they will have moved on. I'm going to sell a Telecaster. I talked about this a few weeks ago at the start of the year. Not enjoying playing it. It's very cool as far as Telecasters go, but it's just not me. I don't need it. I can go. May move on my lap steel. I need to fix the bent pot at some point, and then that's a possibility for going. Don't play it. It's not worth a lot, but it can go to someone who might enjoy playing with that kind of thing. We'll see how things go. The big one is probably the acoustic drums, but that's also probably the thing that won't get sold this year because, Bucharest, Romania is not the kind of place where people have a lot of money to blow on instruments. It's not a rich nation in the sense. So, while standard of living is reasonably high and cost of living is reasonably low, although not as good as we were led to believe when we moved here, and it has increased a lot thanks to the financial crisis around the world. Spending the kind of money that you would need to pay for a Yamaha Absolute Hybrid drum kit, particularly a 7-piece kit, it's something that I don't think a lot of people would have. So that might again be easier to wait until 2024, get back to the UK and sell it there, where at least, despite the UK's financial situation, there's a little bit more money going around. So we'll see. Watch this space with that one. I might sell one of my acoustic guitars. I don't play any acoustic guitar, so I'm toying with keeping the two around. But realistically, I don't really know why I would keep the two around. I like to have one, but that's a little bit down the way. Again, that might be 2024. In particular, if we decide to move that year rather than 25, which is the current plan. But there are lots of things to figure out over the next couple of years. I'll probably want to move that on. Pedal boards. Oh man, pedal boards. Can't give them away, barely. I don't know exactly how and why I acquired so many pedal train boards while I was in Hong Kong. But I did, and I've got, I don't know what it must be, 7 or 8 of them. Some, out of those, maybe 5 of them have power supplies with them, good power supplies, Voodoo Labs or True Tone power supplies or whatever. Just need to move them on. I've moved to mono boards. I've got more of those than I need. So these pedal train boards. If you're in Bucharest and you want one for nothing, drop me a message and I'll get back to you about that. As long as you can collect it. I'm considering. Well, I'm almost certainly going to sell both of my RJM Mastermind PBC 6Xs because they've sat in a box for 2 years. Barely used them when I got them. Thought they were cool. Wanted to support Ron and Sherry. It's a great product. It is a really great product. Really clever. I've got one of the limited edition blue ones, and I've got one of the limited edition red ones. They just need to go. There's a general shortage of them in the world at the moment. They had struggles getting some of the parts, as I understand it. So that should be something that I should be able to move on reasonably easily. So that I'll take back at Easter and try and sell both of those. And then we come to lighting. Stage lighting, lots of LED bars and all that kind of thing. And I have no idea. I have no idea what to do with those. There is a possibility that our church may be moving into new premises, and I might be able to donate a significant portion of those as part of the build into the new premises. Don't know. Nothing is decided. We have no idea what's going on at that stage. We have meetings coming up to discuss initial thoughts on that. But there is that possibility. So if that's the case, then they can go to that. Not all of them will be of use for that, but I don't want to take a full set of band lighting. I mean, it's not quite a full set anymore because I donated some, but I don't want to take a full set of band lighting to another country. It's not expensive stuff. A lot of it is American DJ or Stairville stuff. So it's good quality, it works, but I don't want to move it again. I don't want to ship it again. It takes up a lot of space. I just don't use it. So that, again, anyone looking for some cheap band lighting in the Bucharest area, contact me and we can sort out some kind of deal, I'm sure. Again, might be able to get that back to the UK if all else fails. We're trying to figure out whether next summer we hire a van and take a load of stuff back with us to figure out what to do with there. At least then it's out of our hair here. It seems crazy that we're talking, a significant proportion of my music gear that I don't use and I don't see using anytime in the future. Not even thinking about, PA and amps and all that kind of stuff. At least that is getting some use. But we'll see how things go. I need to get rid of my Persona Studio Live mixer because it's dead. So I tried to use that a few weeks ago. Thankfully, I had my Behringer X32 as well. And that works like a dream because I only used it twice before I left Hong Kong. So that's great. But my old Studio Live desk, I've had it 11 years, I think. It doesn't owe me anything, but that's died. So that just needs to be got rid of. But then it's in a rack case, and what do I do with the mixer rack? Who knows? Anyway, have you got anything that you're struggling to come to terms with the fact that you really should get rid of because you don't use it and it could be put to better use by somebody else? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments down below. I'd also really love it if you subscribe and click the thumbs up icon. That's very much appreciated. I know I talked last week about uncertainty in terms of the future of the channel and stuff, and that is very much a thing. I don't know where I'm going there yet, but subscribers are always good. That might change my mind if I get enough subscribers to a video. But I'm just, don't know where to go with that. But subscribe if you're not already. Click the thumbs up icon. I will see you on Monday with another video, maybe talking something more about minimalism, and then on Thursday when we cover some more music stuff again. See you soon.